So we're headed back off the beach out of Twilight Cove. Try and find our way
up. We picked the wood up just here.
Yeah, a bit of soft sand there. You just never know when it's going to sort of try and get you. That's what I learnt driving around in these bit of sand and dunes out here. I'm going along flat areas like this and just all of a sudden it'll want to try and stop you. And then you'll come to a stop. That's what happened yesterday. I don't know if I had the video roll on for that, but checking out a few backtrack camp areas, and yeah, it was like virtually flat. This is pretty flat, and come to a stop. Can't get out. There was a bush next to me, and luckily I was able to back up. This is probably about 10 minutes into the drive back out, and we're not going all the way back out. We're going to head along the old tele track if we can find it, which I'm sure we will one way or another. Bit of turning around, but if you need to grab some firewood, and you don't know how far in you are, it's not far to come back out. There is plenty of timber around here, so didn't really notice on the way in. So it is very overgrown, so beware of that. There's a lot of mice and march flies, so they're the other two things you need to be prepared for. They've even put a reasonably fresh sign in. There you go. It's a little bit dark in that camera to me, can't see a lot, but anyway. Just disregard that. We've got the route in Google. It's a bit entertaining. Sometimes it helps and sometimes it's a bit entertaining, but we'll just see what it does. We've got some other maps there as well. Be sure to subscribe and turn the bell on, particularly if you want to see coming in here yesterday. And I think we've got a bit of a drive down the beach and showing a short video showing just at Twilight Cove, the general area there. That only goes for a couple of minutes or less. There's a couple of quick ones there as well, if you're not here for the full info all the time. The Hilux has got a left front wheel in the air, doing a bit of gardening while they're at it. That's nice. So it's got front and rear lockers, LOKKA, so it's just going to go. This one, just LSD in the rear, open diff in the front. There we are, I've flexed it up now, so that's where I've got the left front wheel in the air. So we can either flick the front locker, or what I've been doing, seeing if I can actually drive again, you know, learn how to drive. But then there is a tree there that I want to avoid, so normally I'd steer left now to get back over there, but you know, I'm just going to give the locker a test so I don't have to go over into that tree, because the vehicle's going to tip that way. And we got it a little bit anyway, but not too bad. Lock it back off again. We're about half an hour into the drive. The track's just starting to open up a little bit now. It's been very overgrown, and we just come across some wire on the track, the old telegraph wire, really thick wire that, you know, while you're looking out for sticks that you don't want to puncture your tyres, trying to avoid those. And there's not too much in the way of sharp rocks, but I'll be looking out for sticks, and there's also a bit of wire to look out for. So we'll eventually get out and have a look, and then we see a bit more of that. And all this brush down the middle give you a good scrape underneath, so if there was wire caught up in that, there's a chance it could get wrapped around your prop shaft or something like that, so make sure you got tools for cutting wire. So where we're cruising along now is the longest stretch of wire, and I've got a piece sticking up right there. And for people that don't know, the problem with the wire is it sticks up somewhere, hits your prop shaft, sort of slides along it as you're moving forward, gets to the bolts, and that grips up on it, and then it wraps around your tail shaft. So that's probably your biggest concern, trying to avoid that. So if you feel that happening, stop the car straight away, and you're going to need to cut it off or unwrap it, whatever, depending how equipped you are, what you've got there. But you know, carefully get it out without damaging anything, and hopefully it doesn't damage wrapping around and then flicking up around your fuel lines or anything else like that. That's why I'm just really taking it easy as I can over it to not stir it up with the tyres and lift it. And try and pick a line that the centre, so your tail shaft, because it's going to be what picks it up. Doesn't matter if you drive over it with your tyres. You're trying to, if you see a big bit poking up in the middle of the track, try and move to the side, put your tyre over it rather than your prop shaft, is my thinking anyway. Method in my madness. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Is that right, or what line would you pick? I haven't looked at the time or the kilometres, but I reckon we've been driving probably at least 20 k's, an hour or two, a couple of hours, whatever. We're about 27 kilometres from what I call the lake, and that's where we got stuck last year, the lake. 27 k's to there, and none of this terrain, it's all sand and rock. None of it would give you any grief if it was wet in here. So at some point in time, it's going to just change to clay, because that's mainly what we're driving on at the lake. Right, the train's just changed. There's a little bit of clay there just in front of us. And this sort of stuff, what I got here right in front of me, this is where the drama starts when it's wet. So don't come down here in the wet like we did. Not only check the weather, check what happened in the previous month, I think was the key, because the weather was fine. And the week before was fine, but I didn't really look back and do that. I wasn't watching it for long before the trip like I was on this one, where I know everything's bone dry. Even if it rained now, you'd be okay for a while. This is the sort of area that if it's wet, could cause you some difficulties. Nice set of ruts coming through there. Just a short little area. Generally it's sandy, rocky like this, which it can still give you a bit of grief, but generally isn't going to cause you too much issues when it's wet. It's just those low, wet areas that are soaked, which we found out about. Anyway, I think that there's been enough chit-chat, waffling in this video, heading out from Twilight Cove and along the tele track. So I'm going to call it, and we'll start a new video. Probably call it Where We Got Bogged Last Year or something like that. Catch you on the next one. See ya.